Hello, geometry students. Okay, so we're on day 2 of our little thing we call trigonometry. And the big thing we learned from yesterday was this magic word, SOHCAHTOA. Okay, so if you need to be reminded, SO stands for sine of theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And TOA stands for tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. Now, if you remember the equipment I gave you, yes, not equipment, the foldable. This wonderful thing. Print it out. It's a good idea. Let me get the other one. Print it out, fold it. Okay, so, as I said, if there's one thing you can print it out, or maybe keep it on your desktop on your computer just so you can look at it. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. It's got a nice little definition. It shows you where theta is. It's that angle. What would be the opposite angle? What would be the hypotenuse? Gives you a little bit of a formula to fill out. So we're going to keep this with us. Okay, so doing the group practice. We're going to go opposite today, though. Today, we're going to find out what the angle is. I want to know what angle theta is. Now, the nice thing here is they said, well, we're giving you all the sides. Okay, well, if I look at this angle, I go directly across. I will call this the opposite. I look at the 90-degree angle. I go directly across. This is my hypotenuse. Now this means 40 is my adjacent. So, they want us to use sine here. Okay, we can use sine. So, sine of theta, well, I don't know theta. Okay, that's going to cause a little bit of a difference, make things a little different for us. So I'm going to call it C. Is opposite, excuse me, which is 30 over a hypotenuse, 30 over 50. So it's kind of like algebra where I have to do the problem backwards. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm thinking about. Well, I have to do it backwards. All right. Okay, so I'm going to get up my Desmos calculator. I'm going to show you how to do it on the regular calculator. Okay, so if you're using a regular calculator at home, something similar to this, I want to find C. So I can't do what we were doing yesterday because I have no value there for C. When I hit sine, it just says sine and says, put something in there. You know? Can't really do that. So what I have to do is the opposite. On these type of calculators, I hit second, the blue button. Then I hit sine. Now you're going to see it looks a little bit different. It has right here a little -1. So that means I'm doing what they call the inverse sine or arc sine. It's the reverse because that's what we need to do is reverse. Now inside this bracket here, I'm going to put 30 divided by 50. I'm going to close it and hit it, and I get this number, 36.869. Let's round it to 37. Okay, so my final answer is this 37. So that means this angle over here, C, is 37. Now, I could do this with every other function because they give me all three sides. If I wanted to use tan of C, well, tan is, as we learned from up here, opposite over adjacent. Opposite is 30. Adjacent is 40. So watch this. On my computer calculator, I'm going to do second tan, because I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to put 30 divided by 40. Same exact number. So this can, if you have all this information, you can just pick your favorite and use it. Not always. You got to use what they give you. But if they give you all three, you can find this one. And then the last one would be, well, what if I wanted to find, use its cosine. Say cosine was my favorite. Again, second cosine. And cosine of C, cosine of C is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent in my case is 40. Hypotenuse is 50. 40 over 50. And again, cos, second cos, and then 40 divided by 50. Now if I use the right sides, I always get the same answer. But I have to use the right sides for all these. But you see they're all the same. Now let's say for a second you don't have the TI calculator and you just have this Desmos calculator. Well, have no fear. There's a way to do this too. I'm going to have to turn off the light. Hold on. Can we do this? Can I do this? Let's say if I'm going to put my settings, brightness, let's turn my brightness down. Maybe that'll help with this thing, hopefully. Okay, a little bit better. I know this isn't, but if you happen to get the Desmos graphing calculator, you'll see, well, that's scientific. There's sine, cosine, and tangent there. Now, if I want to do the opposite, with this one, you have to hit function, and you'll see it has sine -1, cosine -1, and tan -1. Same exact way to do this, okay? So I just plug it in, put in that fraction I create, and hit enter. So one of the things you have to find out, you might have to find out on your own, is how to do the opposite, okay? So you have to find out how to do this. On your calculator, you have to find out how to do that. Or tan, this is tan -1, 30 over 40. Or cos -1, 40 over 50. Different ways to do this, okay? And that will get you C, but you have to find the inverse trig function. All calculators that have sine, cosine, and tangent have the inverse trig function. You just might have to figure it out on your own. Okay, next one. They still want to know sine of C. So let's go through this again like we don't know. Okay, so sine of C. I want to find out this angle. Well, I just take this angle and I go directly across, walk straight across, and this is my opposite. Then I take this angle, the 90-degree angle, the little box. I go directly across the 90-degree angle. That's my hypotenuse. Then, that leaves only one choice. This is the adjacent. Remember these little rows, okay? They make a nice little X, right? All right, next step. Let's do it. Sine of C equals opposite over hypotenuse. Well, opposite in this case is 21. The hypotenuse is 29. Sine of C equals 21 over 29. Now with the calculator, I want to do this. Sine of -1. 21 over 29. I'd like to use this, but I am not going to. What I'm going to... Can I get this on here? Doesn't come out very clear. So I'm not going to use this calculator, okay? Maybe it's adjusting a little bit. If you're using this one, I'll do 1 on this one. I'm not a big fan of this. So I hit sine of -1, has a little fraction there, and I'm going to put 21, I'm going to go back to the main here, 21 divided by 29, hit enter. Uh-oh. See, even I messed up there. Go back, 29. Ooh. How much do I like this calculator? So much, so 2, 9, enter. No. Okay, so let's try this again. Sine of -1. Main. 21 divided by 29. Ah, there it is. 46.397. Okay, so it's telling me C is 46.397. I'm going to round it to 46 degrees. So that's saying this angle here is 46 degrees. Now, let's see if the other ones work. And I'm going to use the other calculator because at least it comes up a little bit clearer. Okay, clear up my last ones. So let's use cosine. Someone might be cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Well, adjacent is 20. So I'm going to use cos of -1. Adjacent is 20 over hypotenuse, which is 29. I'm going to hit enter, and I should get the same number. I should get 46 and change. So let's see. So second cos 20 divided by 29. 46.397, just like the other one. Got to turn the light back on with this one. Okay, look at that, 46 again. Now, of course, at this point, you know tan will give us the same answer if we put in the right information. So tan of -1 is opposite, right up there, look all the way at the top of the screen. Tan is opposite over adjacent, and that will equal C if we do it in reverse. Reverse tan, and I'm betting tan -1 opposite 21 over adjacent 20, and that's going to equal 46 degrees. Let's see this. Second tan. So now I got tan -1. Trying to move it so it's not as tan of -1. And inside this, I'm going to do 21 divided by 20. If we are right, it should have the same exact number there. And look at that. There we go. All right. Keep practicing on these. Get used to using the scientific calculator. Some good practice for home if you're getting... Try and find angle A. Angle A changes things up a little bit. The hypotenuse stays the same, but now the opposite is over here. Just different. Okay, so long video, but we had to do it. All right, I'll come back with another problem in a second, and we'll do our independent practice. All right, bye-bye.